General nutrition and performance nutrition are not the same thing. I'm a performance nutritionist, and I'm going to explain why applying advice from one to the other can actually be both detrimental to your health but also your performance goals. Let's start with electrolytes. They're super trendy at the moment, and every time I go on social media there is another new startup company trying to sell me electrolytes. But do you really need them? For athletes, especially those with significant training volumes and high fluid loss, hot and sweaty climates, intense high training loads, particularly for endurance athletes, that's where electrolytes can actually be really critical for performance, and I highly recommend using them in those scenarios. Why are electrolytes actually important? They actually help maintain fluid balance and muscle function and help keep an optimal hydration status. However, for the general population, you can normally get enough electrolytes from a balanced diet and your daily fluid intake. If we take sodium as an example, it's found in salt, which we season our food with. You also normally have quite high amounts of it in food that you eat out or any packaged foods, also in things like milk, for example, and then other electrolytes as well you can find in whole foods like nuts, fruits, vegetables. So you actually can get enough day to day just from the food and fluid that you're consuming. The reason that I would be careful if you're not training that much or sweating that much to then consume electrolytes in addition to this is, for example, if you have high blood pressure or at risk of it, at risk of or have kidney failure, or already have quite a high sodium diet, can actually have negative effects. So I would be careful if you're in that scenario. But just generally day to day, ask yourself, do you need the additional salt if you're not actually sweating it out or losing it? Some popular electrolyte brands that I've seen out there in one serving contain almost half of your daily recommended amount of sodium. However, for an athlete, having those electrolytes is really essential to be able to reach your performance. This is an example of how nutrition advice, when taken out of context and applied to kind of the wrong population, can actually be detrimental to either your health or performance.